Hello students, welcome to class. My name is Professor Lando, and today we're talking about three things: girl failures, thinly veiled homosexuality, and centaurs. Let's start with the first though, girl failures. So what exactly is a girl failure? Okay, so what we have here are three examples of girl failures. Here we have Pomni from the amazing Digital Circus, Bocce the Rock, and Komeni from Chainsaw Man. We have a sense of dread coming from these faces, in the eyes, a sort of primal fear, right? And the quivering lips, shaking, perhaps some drool coming out, conveying the sense of indecisiveness, perhaps fear, largely so. And that fear is also demonstrated by that look in the eyes, again, on the verge of tears. The face here is important because we are social creatures. We look at each other and we look at the face, we look at the facial expressions to determine whether this person is friendly, whether this person is dangerous. And this is embedded in our DNA. When we were primitive creatures, we were using facial expressions to communicate. If we were just apes, we would go, we would use our face, show our teeth, we would communicate that way. And not much has changed because what is this communicating to you? Fear, anxiety, uselessness, on the verge of mental collapse. And that's the key with girl failures here, not full mental collapse, not complete lunacy. They're not quite being checked in to Arkham Asylum just yet, but just on the verge, a hairline away. Bocce here might be fully there, but Kobeni, some humanity left trying to, I don't know what exactly, but it's that fear that really separates girl failures from other types of characters. Now you might be asking, well, Professor, you've outlined quite pathetic traits so far. I don't know how this connects with being popular, with being well-liked. Why are these characters, despite their seemingly patheticness, why are they so popular? Well, let's first take a look at a formal definition of girl failures. I believe the term girl failure has its origins, like many other words and terms, from Tumblr, but its popularization comes in the form of a tweet. This tweet is coming from Rory at X-Force Apologist. Enough girl bosses. I need girl failures. Just an absolute loser of a female character. More women who suck. Me too, buddy. Looking back at our examples, they are nervous. They are unable to cope with their situations. They're unable to make decisive decisions. They break down. They run away. They are failures. But why? Absolute losers. Why are these characters so popular? In understanding girl failures, let's take a look at another word, very much a Tumblr-esque word, similar in line with girl failures, the baby girl. Now, the baby girl is, quote, a term of endearment used to describe attractive or cute men, including fictional characters from various fandoms in an infantilizing way. Why then? Why do people like these characters? Okay, this is a graph of birth rates in the United States from 1950 to 2023, and this data is coming from the United Nations World Population Prospects. So what can we see here? Well, an obvious decline. I don't think you need graphs to know that people in general are having less kids, or rather, no kids at all. So what does this data tell us about girl failures and their popularization? Well, I have a theory. We are not convinced of the sort of traditional outlook on family any longer. People are just simply not having kids. But we're only human, and humans are driven by the same natural instincts that our primitive ancestors were driven by. Australopithecus, Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. Yes, we are animalistic, primitive beings driven by our instincts, and I think if you look in the biological world, one of these instincts is to breed. I spent so much time drawing that picture of Pedro Pascal, I can't even remember my point. Girl failure. Example, Pomni from the amazing Digital Circus, the indie YouTube animation. Baby girl. Example, Pedro Pascal, the Chilean-American actor rising to prominence for his role as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. What do these two people have in common? Well, the conclusion that I'm drawing here, class, is that we have created girl failures, baby girls, and have taken various people and characters and categorized them, deemed them as so, because we as humans, as animals, have this latent desire to breed, to have children, and to take care of said children. But we're smarter than that. There's a lot of reasons, economic, cultural, that keeps us, that makes us say, no, I don't want to have children. But I think that that biological trigger, that desire to breed that's in us all, bubbles over. And it portrays itself, it comes to fruition in this displacement of wanting to take care of these characters in place of actual children. Okay, class, girl failures will be on the exam, so please make sure to study up on that. The next thing we're going to be talking about today, the cosplay paradox. Now, this is a hypothetical thought experiment of my own design, but I think there's some very key information that is of significance to us. Imagine your bro, your friend, just a dude. And for the sake of this model, we have a gauge, a level of attraction, 0 to 10. 0 being absolutely no attraction, and 10 being very, very, very attracted. Let's say you have your bro and you ask him to wear a cosplay. For the sake of this model, let's say it's an Astolfo cosplay. And now your bro is wearing the Astolfo cosplay. Now, that's not your bro, that's Astolfo. And now if we take a look at the attraction here, I would say definitely markedly more. Without a shadow of a doubt, if you take your bro, who you're not attracted to in any degree, a 0, and they wear an Astolfo cosplay, that number is going to go up. Now, we might argue on what degree it's going to go up, but let's settle on a middling value. Let's just say my attraction now to this Astolfo cosplay is a 5. Now, this is where the conundrum takes place. This is where the paradox occurs. Let's say that your bro, this Astolfo cosplayer, removes part of the cosplay, undresses, but still retain remnants of the original cosplay. You would now see an undressed Astolfo, which, if we take a look at attraction, markedly increased, let's say, to a 9. Hell, let's just say a 9.5 for sake of argument here. A naked Astolfo is markedly more attractive. But this is where the paradox comes into play. Somehow less cosplay, because there is no longer any clothing except for the thigh highs, the stock. We got to keep the thigh high. But here's the conundrum. Based on the trends that we're seeing here, you would say that the less cosplay that is worn by the Astolfo, the more attractive it is. But there is a critical point, a turning point. Upon removing the final articles of the cosplay, that's just your bro. That's just your bro and he's naked. All of a sudden, it's gay. Okay, students, so I wanted to talk about one last thing here. Recently, something's come up in the intellectual discussion, and it involves the topic of centaurs, which is something that we've discussed at length here. But the controversy is recently there has been a new addition to the archive and collection of centaurs, and that is this. What you see here, I know, calm down, we will discuss it, calm down. This is Centaur Minerva, this character from the idle RPG called The Book of Yogg. So first things first, what do we have here? What exactly is the controversy? And I think obviously here we can see what is missing, and that is, or rather what isn't missing, there is skin where should be hair. A horse's hair, to be exact. There is no horse bottom. If you see here, the bottom half has the shape, has the form of a centaur, but upon inspection, we see skin. And so let's break down exactly what is causing such a visceral reaction here. Let me draw a diagram. Okay, so what we have pictured here is a simplistic diagram of what is generally known to be a centaur. So the problem with this Centaur Minerva, or should I say Centaur Minerva, is that the bottom half, starting from around waist, generally waist is what we see from most centaurs, the bottom half of this centaur is flesh. We see flesh, implying that it is of human origins and simply in the form of a centaur. Okay, so what we have here is a model with multiple examples to see if we can narrow down a formal definition of what is a centaur and what should not be a centaur. So let's take a look at these one by one. First up, we have the Minerva case with the recent controversy. This is human plus human makes human flesh centaur. And I think we found out real quickly that that does not work. Having the flesh color uniform does not inspire confidence in that type of centaur. So this is not a centaur. Next up, we have human plus horse equals what? Yes, the classical centaur. And I think we all know that that works. This classical model, half human, half horse, works perfectly for centaurs, but only in this ratio. If you flipped it, as you found out in one of my previous lectures, with top horse, bottom human, that doesn't work as well. Well, so here we have horse plus horse is illegal. That's illegal. So that doesn't work. It's sort of a contradictory model here. Human plus human, wrong. Horse plus horse, wrong. But human horse, good? There's something here. Let's take a look at these other examples to see. Here we have, taking this one a step further, human, human, and human again, a third human. That is the human centipede. Wrong. Perhaps human plus human is just an extension, or rather the preceding version, of human centipede. And that's why when we see the flesh-colored consistency, uniformity of the Minerva character from the game book of Yogg, that's why people are having such a negative emotion. Anything that even remotely resembles a human centipede situation is going to be frowned upon. Here we have cat plus dog equals cat dog. This is the character from the popular children's show of the same name, Cat Dog. When we look at this, they are conscious beings. However, I am thinking this is not really a centaur. However, in the next example, we have half a human and another half a human, and you get the mannequin doll monster from Silent Hill, which is just two bottom halves of a mannequin put together. And I think that's fucking so good. I like that. That's good. That works for me. And you might think that that is sick, that is twisted, but think about this. Half human, half human. When you add half a human and half human together, that's just one human. And I think it's perfectly normal to be attracted to a human, a singular human. So that is sort of like an a squared plus b squared equals c squared situation. There is no difference from this scenario, the Silent Hill mannequin scenario, than just dating a singular person. So what conclusion do we really draw is you don't want to push the boundaries too far. That's how we get a human centipede situation. That's how we get a cat dog situation. That's how we go to jail. In some states, or all states, probably all states. If you happen to know a state that's not, feel free to message me so that I can, for reference, so I can update this lecture going forward. So please reach out. Students, hello, thank you so much for watching. Professor Orlando here with a little message. Just want to say that this video right here is going to be the last video of the school year, so that's going to be a wrap for 2023. It's been a little over 2 years since I started making videos and opening the doors here at Ligma University and meeting all you students. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. Definitely changed my life. It's been wild. Got a lot of really weird and cool and fun opportunities thanks to all this and you guys. I've even gotten to meet you guys and share some laughs and learn something, right? Most importantly, learn something. Thank you again for everything, and I'll see you in 2024. Thanks.